Alright guys, we're on episode 11. Sweet. I think we left off last time with Ying. Yeah, he was passing around those posters to find Ju. So we start out this episode with Ying coming in to visit Fan Ju. And he's like, so, did you happen to go to the mortal realm? And she's like, no, I never went to the mortal realm. And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, I went there, but I went to get scripts. And he's like, okay, well then why are you so pale? Well, she has a bunch of excuses for that, and he's just like, you went to the mortal realm. And she's like, okay, yeah. I guess he's just asking a rhetorical question, and she figures it out, like, okay, he already knows. So she confesses, she's like, okay, I did go. And Ying is so mad. He's like, people get there, they to increase their cultivation, to increase their experiences, and that's not what this is for. Like, this is serious. Donghua is in this mortal realm doing these experiences because he needs to regain his strength back quickly, and he's been badly injured. He needs this, and you interrupting this thing is going to make it so he's not going to experience his trials, and like we're all going to be doomed because he's not going to be able to fight. She also learns that her saving Donghua didn't help, because she's like, well, I saved his life, that's a good thing. And he's like, no, not a good thing, because while he's on the mortal realm here, he is supposed to have 3 trials, and one of the first ones was that he was supposed to be very badly injured in this battle, and you saved his life, so he did not get badly injured. So once he was injured, he was supposed to be saved by a maid, her name Shao. And because of her and like saving him, taking care of him, he falls in love with her. And I'm gonna assume she doesn't return that love, because he's supposed to have a love trial too, right? Or something happens at least. And now that Fan Ju has saved him, he wasn't injured, he never met this maid, which means she'll never, or he'll never experience a broken heart. So Fan Ju with one, I guess when Ying was asking her before about if you saw that he was going to get hurt, would you let it happen? It was actually like a truthful, like, okay, this is what's going to happen. He's going to get injured. I guess he was serious. So Fan Ju is like, well, crap. What do? I need to go back and fix this. Like, I didn't know. And he's like, you know what? You have to go back there and fix this by making sure the 2 of these people meet. They need to meet and fall in love. So she does. She goes to the mortal realm, and when you see her in the all white, I'm like, even with her hair like that and in the plain clothes, she's still, I'm like, she doesn't look like a man. She doesn't. I don't know how you could mistake her as a man. I mean, it's very, yeah, she's very pretty. But okay, so she's there eating lunch. There's this big excitement because the beautiful woman is coming to town. We know who the beautiful woman is because she is going to be marrying the emperor, Zhuangren, aka Donghua. But as they are coming, the carriage is attacked. Now, Ju sees this going on. Because she had gone out to see if she could see this beautiful woman. She's like, hey, I wonder what Donghua's woman looks like in the mortal realm. And while she's there, Ju warns Ying that he's going to be shot by an arrow from behind. She's like, watch out, and saves his life, and he recognizes him. And they try, at the end of the battle, they try to take all these, the people that attacked as prisoner, but all of them had this poison stuff, and they all died. But we get to learn who's behind the attack, which is Song Xuanying, Xuanren's brother, the one that we said before we gotta watch out for because he's just, he's sus, as my, as they say nowadays. We learned that he was behind the attack, and I think they talk about this later too, about why they did the attack, like if they really do want the battle, or gosh, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, okay, so Yi Qingtai takes Ju to the palace, and after the princess is presented, and Ju and the princess pass each other on the way out, and Ju is like, Jiang? But, I mean, Jiang doesn't remember anything, so she has no idea. And Ju was like, wait, well, what is she doing here? Is she helping him with this? Or, like, what's going on? But Xuanren, super excited. He's, like, practically bouncing out of his seat, like, bring him in, bring him in, bring him in. And when she gets in there and she sees him and she's just so happy to see him, so in love, she totally forgets to bow. So, like, bow, bow. They have to remind her, and that's awesome. It was funny. And they offer her rewards, but she does not accept any. She's like, I don't need any rewards. But if I could have a request, I would love to stay at the palace and protect you and be your guard. And he accepts. Which we know she's there trying to find this lady so that they can meet each other. Yi Qingtai really likes Ju as well. Promotes him to team leader, and brings all the drinks over, and they're all drinking together and talking, and Yi Qingtai asks if he will be his sworn brother. At first it said sword brother. I think somebody typed it wrong. But then the next one said sworn brother, and I was like, oh, I think it's sworn brother is what they're going for. But he's like, he's really serious, but he's like, you know what, sorry, didn't mean to ask that, like, we just met. But please think about it. And while they're there, she asks about a distant relative named Zhao Mingxi, the lady she's looking for. And he's like, you know what? I can help you find her. I have all the lists of the maids and everything. I will help you find her. So now she's got him helping. We get to see Jiang, who is now Chuan. Yeah. And she has her maid Ling Jiang study the area, and they plan to make this huge map of everywhere in the palace so that they can search every single place and then mark it off as they search for the Lingdi stone. Let's see. Oh, Ju figures out what it's like to be drunk in the mortal realm. Apparently it's different than when in the heavenly realm, or in her Jingchu or wherever. And she's got the headache, walking along. The emperor's coming to Ju's house to see her. She's walking along drunk. Snake comes across the path, and I'm gonna guess she doesn't like snakes because she freaks out, and she starts running, smack right into the emperor, and they both fall into the lake. And well, when she comes up, her mark is exposed because she didn't actually have anybody hide it this time. She just used makeup to hide it. So her mark is exposed, and he knows it's a woman. It's kind of blurry though, because I mean, he just came up out of the water. But what he sees, he's like, it's a woman. And so everybody's like, oh, save the emperor, and they all get in to get him out there. And he's like, rescue, there's still a girl in there. And so people go back in to find her too, but she is a good swimmer, and she gets away. For some odd reason, the emperor's totally in love with her. I'm like, even though he didn't get like the best look at her, I guess she was beautiful enough to him that he's like totally in love with her now. I'm wondering maybe they had something to do because it was kind of exciting and out of the ordinary for him, and he was kind of like, that was cool, Nothing like that ever happens, but he thinks she's absolutely gorgeous. So Yi Qingtai and Ju are tasked with finding this mysterious woman, which is interesting because we know it's Ju. She's looking for herself. Zhanren says he fell in love with her at first sight, and at first Ju's like, oh, God, that's kind of romantic, and they're like, yeah, it's the one that knocked him into the lake, and she's like, wait, me? Like, well, she didn't say it out loud, but she's like, he's in love with me? So she has to pretend that it wasn't, they're looking for this woman. She doesn't know who it is, even though it's herself. So after this, Yi Qingtai actually takes Ju to meet all the rest of the soldiers, and they're not too impressed with her. They're like, okay, well, he looks kind of weak. So they have this competition. She's like, you know what? Let's have a competition. What are we doing? So they do a sword fight, and she is amazing. And they're like, whoa. And then next they do like an arrow contest, shooting contest, archery. And not only does she hit the bullseye, she aims at this dragonfly that flies in front of the bullseye and pins its wing to the bullseye. And they're like, holy crap. And then I'm like, okay, she goes up there and takes the arrow off and sets the dragonfly fly free. But I'm like, would it be able to fly still? Like, she just shot its wing with an arrow, but it flies away. Well, it made me happy. I'm like, okay, dragonfly's not hurt. But yeah, anyway, so Yi Qingtai comes and tells Ju that he cannot find the maid, not on any lists anywhere, but they will both keep looking together. She will follow him wherever he goes, and try to look into it herself as well. And now that Ju has proved himself to all of the other soldiers, they're all like bros now, and now that everybody's on the same page, they can all join together to protect the emperor. So basically it's all a good thing. So we are left there, still searching for the mate that the emperor was supposed to fall in love with. Instead, he's fallen in love with Ju, but he doesn't know it yet. And let's see, were we looking for anybody else? I think that was it. Just except for the mysterious woman, which is Ju. All right. It's interesting. Ju is always getting there and then disappearing, and they're all looking for her, so it's yeah, it's getting kind of tangled here. So episode 11, awesome. Hope I keep on track here. Come on, I can get episode 12 for next week. So comment and like and subscribe. Find me on social media. Whoa, I almost said that wrong. Social media. Okay, social media. Come say hi to me. I will have my social media down in the description. I will have this episode down in the description, the link for it, so you can go and watch it either before or after this, or you don't even watch this. You can just go watch the episode. Either way. And I think that is it for now. So I guess I'll see you guys for the next episode. See ya.